Thank you. The purchase that we.
Okay, the hour of 6 o'clock having arrived, we'll call the regular meeting of the Sherman Village Board to order. And Mr. Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Trustee Gray?
Yes.
Trustee Hahn?
Trustee Hahn has an excused absence. His company is experiencing staffing issues due to COVID-related employee issues, and so Trustee Hahn is tending to his entity business matters. So definitely excused absence, so he's welcome.
Trustee Long?
Let me think on that.
Okay.
Talk to him now.
Trustee Roxbury?
She has an excused absence. She should be showing up here, depending on how long this meeting goes. She's 10 minutes ago. Tending to some other, elected official matters.
Trustee Schultz?
Yes.
Trustee Tim?
Yes.
Mayor Tucker?
Yes. So I show, what, 4 of us answering the roll? Quorum being established, we'll proceed with the order. There's trustee Hall right there. Hang on one second. Hello? Yep. All right. Oh, yeah, no worries, that's perfect. Absolutely. You're good. Okay, you're good. No worries, right back. Okay, so trustee Mom's not gonna be here this evening. Excuse. But he has an excused absence for sure. Let's see here. Where was I at? What's that? Yeah, let me read into the record though really quick. Today's date is Tuesday, December 1st of 2020. We are at the Sherman Village Hall, 401 St. John's Drive in Sherman, Illinois. Time is 6 o'clock. It's a regular meeting of the Sherman Village Board of Trustees. Bringing us to item number 2 on the agenda after the roll call, that's the Pledge of Allegiance. Could I ask everybody to stand and face the flag? Let's have Joseph Benedino.
Yeah,
You want to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
sure can.
Are you-
Pledge of allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, sir. All right, moving along. Counselor Craven is here.
May I be added to the roll?
Absolutely. Clerk's report. Item number 1, I'm sorry, actually, we gotta set the agenda. Motion to set the agenda. Motion's been made by trustee Schultz, seconded by trustee Gray. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the ayes have it, the agenda is set. Clerk's report, item number 1, presentation of November 17th, 2020 regular board meeting minutes. They're presented for approval. Any additions or corrections to those minutes as presented by the clerk? Seeing none, we have a motion to approve the bill, or approve the minutes. Trustee Tim makes a motion, seconded by trustee Gray. Any discussion? Seeing none, clerk call the roll.
Trustee Gray?
Yes.
Trustee Schultz?
Yes.
Trustee Tim?
Yes.
And I'll vote yes. That's 4 members voting yes, none voting no. The minutes are adopted as presented. Item number 2, approval of the executive session minutes of November 17th, 2020. Cannot discuss those out loud, and they are held as executive session minutes. But that being said, need a motion to adopt those minutes. Trustee Tim, you want to make that motion?
Yes.
Second by trustee Gray. Clerk call the roll.
Trustee Gray?
Yes.
Trustee Schultz?
Yes.
Trustee Tim?
Yes.
Mayor Tucker?
Yes, 4 members voting yes, none voting no. Executive session minutes are adopted. Semi-annual review of the executive session minutes. Motion to keep those closed, correct? Yeah. So is there a motion to that effect? Trustee Tim, trustee Schultz want to make that motion? Trustee Schultz makes that motion, second by trustee Tim. Clerk, roll call please.
Trustee Gray?
Yes.
Trustee Schultz?
Yes.
Trustee Tim?
Yes.
Mayor Tucker?
Yes. All members voting yes, none voting no. no. Motion passes. Presentation of the bills for approval. Mr. Stunkel is in attendance, as well as the chief. If you have a police department question, Public Works has the evening off, and Administrator Stratton is here to answer any questions. Are there any questions regarding the bills that are presented for approval? So we need a motion to approve the bills for payment. Motion to that effect. Trustee Schultz makes a motion, second by Trustee Gray. And clerk, the roll call, please.
Trustee Gray?
Yes.
Trustee Schultz?
Yes.
Trustee Tim?
Yes.
Mayor Claflin?
Yes. 4 members voting yes, none voting no. Bills are approved for payment. Treasurer Stunkel is here to present, or talk about the treasurer's reports. You want to go over your treasurer's reports, essentially?
What's included in the package for tonight is a report that covers the first 6 months of the fiscal year. So this is from May 1st through October 31st, 2020. I'll just hit some highlights here. General fund for the year, so far we're $92,000 excess revenues over expenditures, namely so far through 2020 expenses have been down, revenues have been down slightly as well, but overall we're doing pretty well. Sewer fund, approximately $96,000 revenues over expenditures there. MFT, we are approximately $50,000 revenues over expenses. That includes some grants that grants money that we received as well during the year. TIF funds for the year overall, we are currently at about 1.3 million. Revenues over expenditures. We've got a TIF surplus payment that we need this in the agenda. That's going to knock that down, so that payment's going to be about $560,000. So those are the highlights. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Questions for Treasurer Stunkel? Trustee Schultz?
Jeremy, on the income tax, do you expect that to decline over the next 6 to 12 months?
You would think, it's hard to say, but I would tend to think, yes, that's going to go.
The sales tax appears to be holding up okay.
Sales tax actually is slightly more than what we've had in the past. Our use tax distributions have increased. I think people buying online, we talked about this last time I was here, we get a bigger percentage of things that are spent online. So we are, as those things go up, our use tax goes up there, and so that's an average somewhere around 13,000 to 15,000. And 2 years ago, that number was roughly 6,000. So that really has increased.
Any additional questions? Anybody? Okay, so we're going to need a motion to adopt the treasurer's reports for May 1st through October 31st. Is there a motion to that effect? Trustee Schultz makes a motion, second by Trustee Gray. Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Gray?
Yes.
Trustee Schultz?
Yes.
Trustee Tim?
Yes.
Mayor Claflin?
Yes, 4 members voting yes and none voting no. Treasurer reports are adopted, will be added to the website. Village engineer, Engineer Kuhn, anything to report?
Tonight, we have MFT on the agenda for passage. This is to get us through the winter, and then in the springtime, we'll evaluate roads and then evaluate budgets and see if we got anything left.
Very good. Questions regarding engineering? Nothing. Okay. Legal.
We have a proposed settlement and final payout to Autobahn. It's under your report, we can do it then.
Okay.
Question that.
Anybody have any questions of Council Craig? Okay, so we'll move on to the village administrator and economic development coordinator.
No, we're going to talk about that.
No report, okay, so let's move to the president's report. So item number 1 is an ordinance regarding the annual tax levy. So this has to be passed by the, what is it, third Tuesday in December of every year. And we typically do it on that third Tuesday, if memory serves me. But we're prepared to do it on this first Tuesday of December, and typically following in our fashion of the 4.99% over previous year's amount. With the town of Sherman that experiences, you know, the growth that it does in new housing starts. In the past, it's been still amounted to essentially, when you spread it aggregately out over the entire population, you know, people see in most years, tax decreases essentially on the Sherman corporate line item. The tax levy be set at, out of all these houses in this town, we would get $77,867, which is very low, especially when you spread it out individually over each house. Comparing that general levy, over the summer I looked at the Village of Chatham, their general property tax levy, they get over $26 million from their individuals if you look at their budget document. So it's a lot different. A lot different. That all being said, if you're prepared to move forward with the ordinance as included on the agenda, to do so as I stipulated, the chair would be inclined to call a motion on that. You want to wait till the next meeting? Everybody's comfortable? Okay, so that being said, we will, chair would entertain a motion to adopt the annual tax levy ordinance. Let me get to it in my document so I can read it into the record. Okay, you have an ordinance number on it yet? Looks like it's going to be ordinance 2020-29. And the ordinance title is an ordinance levying and assessing taxes for corporate purposes of the Village of Sherman, Illinois for the fiscal year commencing May 1st, 2020 and ending April 30th, 2021. Again, same document, 4.99% increase over the previous base year. Is there a motion to adopt said ordinance? Trustee Tim makes a motion, second by Trustee Schultz. Any discussion? Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Gray?
Yes.
Trustee Schultz?
Yes.
Trustee Tim?
Yes.
Mayor Klapfelter?
Yes. So that's 4 members voting yes, none voting no. Major having received a majority vote of the Village Board of Trustees is declared passed, will be submitted and transmitted to the county, county offices. Item number 2, this is a resolution, and this is regarding an annual surplus from the TIF. This is per the agreement that we entered into in 2009, when we passed the extension of the TIF. Declaring a 50% surplus in the TIF, that will send $568,566.41 back to the county treasurer to be dispersed pro rata to each taxing body, based on what they make up of the proportionate share of that tax bill. We need to do this by resolution. We should do this. We're bound to do this essentially, so even if we didn't pass it, I don't think we'd have standing, because it was an agreement entered into that many years ago. Let's keep it clean and keep it, show the support. We have a resolution presented in that effect to declare that 50% surplus. So any discussion regarding this? Okay. Motion to declare the 50% surplus and pass the resolution of the Village of Sherman, Sangamon County, Illinois, declaring surplus from the special tax allocation fund of the Village's original tax increment redevelopment project area. And that is resolution 20-08. Motion to that effect. Trustee Gray makes a motion, seconded by Trustee Schultz. Clerk, call the roll.
Trustee Gray?
Yes.
Trustee Schultz?
Yes.
Trustee Tim?
Yes.
Mayor Klapfelter?
Yes. 4 members voting yes, none voting no. The resolution is adopted. Item number 3 under the President's report is another resolution. This is the motor fuel tax calendar year 2021. in the amount of $92,100. Again, Engineer Kuhn is here to answer any questions. Is there anything to add on to that, Engineer Kuhn?
No.
Any questions, discussion?
This is just your estimate of maintenance that you give to IDOT, what we'll spend next year, streetlights primarily.
Yeah, this is based on what we spent last year.
Okay.
I mean, that's basically how we do it. Hey, what did we spend last year? Okay, let's estimate that's what we're gonna do this year.
Okay.
Pretty scientific.
It's IDOT, so I don't, to tell you, yeah, you don't have enough time. Byron would kill me if I went down that rabbit hole.
All right, any questions, discussion? Okay, so we need a motion to adopt the resolution for the motor fuel tax calendar year 2021 estimate. Is there a motion to that effect? Trustee Schultz makes a motion, second by trustee Tim. Clerk, you want to call the roll, please?
Trustee Gregg?
Yes.
Trustee Schultz?
Yes.
Trustee Tim?
Yes.
Mayor Cockholter?
Yes, 4 members voting yes, none voting no. The resolution is reported favorably. Item number 4 is one-time merit stipend for our the dedicated service and job well done for the 2020 for the current employees. We do this, we started doing this, and I would love to do this again for our employees, especially this year. It's a small thank you, but a thank you in and of itself. Wanted to do it at this first meeting instead of waiting to the second meeting so that individuals can budget accordingly and incorporate it into their holiday, Christmas expenditures, should they choose to do so. So, to sum it up, it's $250 for our full-time employees and $125 for our part-time employees. There are 21 individuals that will be recognized for their hard work, thanking them through a one-time adjusted stipend. And of those 21, by my count, it looks like 12 of them are full-timers. So, a motion to grant and authorize the one-time merit stipend for dedicated service and job well done in 2020 for our current employees. Is there a motion to that effect? Motion's been made by trustee Tim, second by trustee Gregg. Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Trustee Gregg?
Yes.
Trustee Schultz?
Yes.
Trustee Tim?
Yes.
Mayor Cockholter?
Yes, 4 members voting yes, none voting no. That measure is adopted. Item number 5, this brings us to Councilor Craven. It's the approval of the final payout to Autobahn. Are we prepared to go forward this evening on it?
Yes,
Okay. Do you want to help?
we are, but I don't have a vote.
Okay. So that's not what I need. I'll let you have the floor.
Okay, in short order, what we've been talking to Autobahn about are the two contracts at the park. There is left unpaid on the park contract, $193,000, and on the rail fence drive project, there's a short $90,000. Total of $281,656 on both contracts. Mr. Stratton and I have been talking to Autobahn and their counselor, and we have, obviously subject to your approval, tentatively agreed to a final settlement payment of $165,188, which is an offset from their total claim of $116,468. So it's a significant set-off for our claims that they didn't fully do what they needed to do. I need to tell you, this is a full and final settlement. We're done with them. If we find something in the future, that's on us, not on them. There are manufacturer warranties that carry over, but this is a full and final settlement. With Autobahn, we release them, they release us, and we all go our happy ends. But I'm very comfortable making that recommendation. And I think Mr. Stratton joins me in that.
Yes, without a
thought.
doubt.
Yeah.
Questions, discussion? Are we prepared to move forward? Yes, okay. So, item number 5 on the agenda for the record, and for the recording, is the approval of the final payout to Autobahn. So a motion would be made in the effect of a full settlement agreement with Autobahn Company, as stipulated by Counselor Craven in his synopsis there. Do I need to add anything to the record? Okay, so by a motion from the floor, trustee Gray makes a motion. Is there a second?
Yes.
Seconded by trustee Schultz. Any further questions or discussion? None? Okay, clerk, would you please call the roll?
Trustee Gray,
Yes.
trustee Schultz,
Yes.
trustee Tim,
Yes.
Mayor Passporter.
Yes. There's 4 members voting yes, none voting no.
When the settlement agreement is final, I'll get a copy to Mike. It requires the signatures of all 7 trustees. So
Okay.
we'll just circulate that for signature.
Okay. Okay, item number 6, moving along, would be the annual board meeting calendar for 2021. So it is the end of the year, end of 2020. 2021 can't get here soon enough. That being said, we need to put a 2021 calendar out. Now, this is subject to change and can change from time to time because obviously we gotta adjust on the fly or various things, occur or happen, or we cancel meetings or whatever. But for planning purposes and to satisfy the statutes, Administrator Stratton has prepared the 2021 meeting calendar, which we'll put on our village website. And again, always leave ourselves open to modifications due to whatever the circumstances may be. So is there a motion to adopt said calendar? You guys all have it in your documents. Everybody comfortable with it? Okay, is there a motion to adopt the annual board meeting calendar for 2021? A motion to that effect. Trustee Tim makes a motion. Is there a second? Seconded by trustee Gray. Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Trustee Gray,
Yes.
trustee Schultz,
Yes.
trustee Tim,
Yes.
Mayor Passporter.
Yes. It's 4 members voting yes and none voting no. The board meeting calendar for 2021 is adopted. Committee department reports, if anybody have anything to report, now we've moved through the agenda, nothing. Sherman Police Department, Chief Banger is in attendance.
Just real quick, since I'm representing the village employees right now, I want to say thank you to everybody for the holidays, I think, and I'm sure everybody appreciates it, so thank you very much on that. A little snapshot of the police department, we have a little COVID situation too, not as nearly severe as public works or some other areas, but they were spaced out accordingly, so I currently have one that just went off of quarantine and one that just went on quarantine, so that's where we stand right now. And then we have one of the new hires attending the academy. He's in his 3 now, and one of the new hires is starting tomorrow full time, and he's our lateral guy with experience. And Officer Bolar, who we hired in late October, just went off of field training, so he's starting to take a regular shift now. So that's where we're at.
Very good.
Any
Well,
questions?
No, I don't have any questions. I just have a big thank you to you and all of your police officers for everything you're doing. Public Works, a very big thank you to them, and they've worked under some extenuating circumstances, but you guys are seriously on the front lines. I get all of the reports sent to my, whenever there's a call, to my phones and the PDA, and I see, how many potential COVID cases there are. It's marked in the emergency alert. They ask that information. So our officers are on the front line. They're dealing with COVID patients, potential COVID patients, or even ones that they say that they aren't, and you're still walking into the unknown. So kudos to our Sherman Police Department, everything that your guys are doing, especially with the other big agencies hiring and snatching up our officers. That's a testament to everything that happens at the Sherman Police Department, and how good you guys actually are, and how good we recruit, and these individuals we just brought in. Hopefully we have them for a long time, but if we don't we know it's because we've hired the best and the brightest, and they're moving on to the bigger agencies with the bigger department budgets, but I know it has been, somewhat of a strain on the department with the chief and some of his officers coming down and just even having to quarantine. So what that does is, it puts the strain on other individuals, and everybody has stepped up, picked up the hours, covered. Chief's been working the streets. I know this, he's worked a lot of hours, so thank you personally for that. Always maintaining our police coverage, having, boots on the ground, and a Sherman police officer to respond to most any and every call there is. So, you can communicate from us, the village board, even the ones that aren't sitting here, how appreciative we are, and we look forward to 2021, and your fully staffed police department, acting hopefully with a vaccine in their bloodstream. So,
Thank you much.
thank you.
Thank you.
Sherman Emergency Management gave Mr. Mose the evening off as well, so nothing to report there. Public Works, as I stated, they're off, and they've done an unbelievable, remarkable job in decorating this town. So we want to thank them for their efforts. New business, there's no new business to come before the board. Any old business, there is no old business. And there's civic organizations, we do not have any civic organizations seeking recognition. So that's going to bring us to the public comment period. I'll say for the record real fast, there is no executive session this evening. So, in the public comment period, we have one individual who is signed in to speak, that's Mrs. Sandra Walden. You're welcome to come forward and address the board under the board comment policy.
I just wanted to check and see if there's anything new as far as the status of the dog breeder in our neighborhood.
So we've met on this issue as a full collective board, and the board has directed the administrator and legal counsel to continue to act administratively under the Village Code of Ordinances and to seek enforcement through those measures, and that's what we continue to do and to try to remedy the situation. So it's a process, and then the ordinances, they have various different standing. There's mechanisms and measures that can be taken by the village board in terms of enforcing those and, putting other measures in place that either make somebody become compliant at that point in time or at the sale of, their property or some certain things along those lines. So that's essentially where the process stands, and they'll continue to, try and enforce the ordinances as written.
Okay.
That sum it up? Okay. So, before we do adjourn, I can't see what the time is. The time is 6:30 right now. I'm gonna make a couple of announcements. Do you want me to talk to this? Is that you and I talking outside of the meeting, or?
The mic's gonna go on the side.
Okay.
So we'll be on the agenda next time.
Okay. So, a couple of announcements real fast. Everybody knows about the COVID situation and the lack of ability to hold certain public events. And we honor and respect that and are trying to mitigate as best as possible. So we ultimately did not have the village community tree lighting ceremony. And we were going to try to operate that and do that even under the auspices of, social distancing and various different other initiatives that would have been recommended. But ultimately, in doing our due diligence, we just didn't think that it was probably the best idea to do that, so we did not do that. We had a heck of a agenda lineup established and set up for that, and we'll do that next year, and we'll probably do it twice as big, right? But this year, we still want to try and do some holiday, Christmas, community events that we think we can do. And so there's a couple things that we can do and we should do and we want to do. And the first thing is having a Sherman Christmas Parade. So we're not doing the children's Christmas party, right?
Right.
And that was typically held at the elementary school, and it was gonna be potentially over at the Sherman Athletic Club, and we talked about doing a drive-through pickup for gifts, you know, and see Santa. But honestly, just driving through and picking up a free gift, that's not special, and there's nothing key in doing that. So we'll save it, we'll build it up twice as big for next year, and so that is not in the planning any longer either. But we still wanted to do something special, and so what we've talked about, we think we can do a Christmas parade, and there's a lot of other towns doing this, and we think Williamsville's essentially gonna do it too. And other towns we've seen posted on Facebook as general announcements and events. But we wanna do a Christmas parade. We're gonna put Santa in the back of Big Red, which is the Public Works snowplow truck. We wanna light that up, we wanna make it look like it's already red, and we talked about even putting a, not cardboard, but a plywood cutout stencil of a sleigh, mount that on the side of it if we can get that done in time. I don't know if we can get that done in time. When I say we, I look at Sean Bull. And his volunteers and his crew to hopefully make that happen. If not, so we want to do that and then have other vehicles in it. Chief, we would love the participation of the police department, which I know they step right up and do. So you guys already have Christmas lights and your cars are already decorated. But we want some vehicles. We're gonna have vehicles in this parade, and with the LED lights that can be purchased. What's that?
No,
Am I wrong? Okay. With the LED lights that can be purchased, and you know every car, newer car has a 110 outlet in it. You could literally just plug in these lights and run, you know, an extension cord out and decorate. We want some vehicles decorated. We're gonna go around town. We're gonna make some noise, and we're gonna have Santa on the back of there, and a few other hopefully surprises. But that being said, we want to give the town something, and we're going to give the town something. On the heels of that, that's also going to kick off the Willie the Frog contest. So Willie the Frog is it's always been essentially a socially distanced event where you go find, you know, the Christmas lighted Willie the Frog, take a picture with it, tag yourself, tag our Facebook page, and then we have an event. But what's going to be different this year is that we're not going to have everybody gather at the Farm Credit Services. We're going to have basically a Facebook Live or a Zoom type event. We haven't solidified that just yet, but I kind of see a Facebook Live event instead of all that Zoom stuff, where we do the drawing, kids will win, and we will have Santa, or Santa and Willie, or Santa, Willie, and the police department deliver the large prizes with a police escort, lights and sirens, much like we did the big check. But we want to do some special stuff this holiday season for our kids and our families. And so we're trying to think outside the box and you know, and keep things moving forward as best as possible. So that's going to kick off. We're going to try and get an announcement out tomorrow regarding that, so that the town knows we can get some participants and stuff regarding the parade.
Do you have a date tentatively set for the parade?
Yeah,
December 13th?
is the parade?
Yes, it's all going to start December 15th.
Does that give us enough time on the calendar, right?
Should be good.
Yeah, okay, so December 13th. And we're only doing Willie the Frog thing for 5 days?
5 days. 6 days.
6 days.
Go from Sunday through Friday.
And then we're gonna have a couple days to kind of reconcile the various kids that have participated, get everything together, the bin to draw everything, all the names put in there, and then administratively coordinate this stuff and do a Facebook Live event. And that'll be, what were we looking at, that when, was it Wednesday?
Oh, then next Monday.
Next Monday?
Yeah, we have a tabulated, but
Okay, so that's,
then do a Facebook Live like that evening, like at 6 o'clock. The kids get to sit and watch it all.
yeah,
And then we draw the names and start the delivery.
yeah. We'll try and film some of the deliveries and, you know, the kids' faces and post that all on there to, you know, keep marketing Sherman and making it look great for everybody to see. Anything else? What's the Santa? curbside. What's this?
The curbside Santa was another opportunity to hand out all the activity bags and things that you normally receive during the Sherman Elementary School Christmas party. So a bag would be available.
Are we doing that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna do that at the same night on December 13th, so from 3 to 5 roughly, we'll be doing the parade. It is a long route, obviously. We're anticipating at least 2 hours. There will be no stops, but it will be slow speed throughout. We don't know how many vehicles are likely to be in this, but it could be large. And then by 5 o'clock, we'll be at Sherman Village Park where we'll start, and then we'll end there. Santa will be there handing out curbside, which is kind of because of the COVID and everything else. Goodie bags for all the kids who wish to drive by, and then it'll go on for like an hour. And after that, it'll close down, but the kids can also then take their picture with Willie, who will be there on site to do their first picture of 3 that will be entered into the contest.
All right. All good, everybody? All right, so we look forward to those events and getting that all successfully kicked off. Is there anything I'm missing? Nothing? Any announcements? Anything? Okay, so we'll have another meeting in 2 weeks. There's something that I was gonna say that we needed to do. Okay, I'll figure it out. Still lots going on. Oh, that's what it was. So, I guess this is gonna have to wait though, right?
Yeah.
Just to let you know, Trustee Rockford had forwarded this today, so it's not on the agenda. But it will be on the next agenda, just to brief you. The after prom is seeking a donation again this year, so hopefully the kids get to have a prom. But we'll have that for action on the agenda for next meeting. Okay, that being said, there's no further business to come before the village board. The chair will entertain a motion to adjourn. Is there a motion to that effect? Trustee Schultz makes a motion, seconded by Trustee Gray. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the ayes have it. We are adjourned. Let the record reflect at 6:39.